Grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and from the Lord Jesus Christ. I was glad when they said to me, let us go into the house of the Lord. I'm Father Steve Sellers, and thank you so much for tuning in today for this brief daily message of hope. I was thinking this morning of all things about a movie I saw back in 1979 when it came out, and I don't know whether I've seen this movie more than that one time. Probably have. It was a wonderful film starring Al Pacino and Jack Warden and John Forsythe called And Justice for All. And it's a movie where Al Pacino plays a lawyer who winds up defending John Forsythe, a judge, a very strict judge who's charged with a crime. And there's a scene in the movie, I don't remember how it happened, but Al Pacino makes a comment in open court, and the judge says, "You're out of order," and slams the gavel down. And Al Pacino shouts back and says, "No, you're out of order. This whole thing is out of order." And it's a very powerful scene where he winds up getting drug out of the courtroom, and it's a very tense scene and a very tense movie. But you know, that's exactly what I'm hearing from a lot of people today, that something is out of order. You know, in our lives, in the world today, in the news, in education, in government, in politics, something is out of order. And it's leaving people feeling not only out of order themselves, but a little bit lost. Some of the familiar mooring grounds and that we hold on to have shifted somehow. And there's an angry debate going on in our country that no one is happy about. Anger seems to be taking the lead. But what is it that's out of order? I was looking at a story that I had clipped a year or so ago. There was an Episcopal priest by the name of F. Washington Jarvis, who died in 2018. For 30 years, he was the headmaster of Boston's Roxbury Latin School, which is the oldest school in continued existence in North America. Father Jarvis used to give inspirational talks to his students to try to encourage them and help them focus on the orderly things in life. And in a book that he wrote called The Spiritual Dimension, Jarvis closes his work with these thoughts. He said, "I saw a snippet on public television in July about a summer camp that had these words written over its entrance. Words that sum up my hopes and prayers for all of you. Words that sum up everything I've been trying to say." Now, this is Jarvis's closing words to his students, past, present, and future. These words are these: God first, others second, myself last. That is the formula for the best of our lives. And it's not just Father Jarvis who came up with that saying. As a matter of fact, it was the Lord Jesus who gave us the order for our lives. In Matthew chapter 22, Jesus says the formula that binds us together as complete and whole and wholesome people. Where a lawyer asked Jesus a trick question, saying, what is the greatest of all the commandments? And at that time, in the first century, there were 613 commandments that were being taught, about half of them in the negative and half in the positive. Thou shalt do this, thou shalt not do that. And Jesus answered by saying this, the first and great commandment is this, he said, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, mind, and strength. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. That's the divine order. Father Jarvis recognized it over a summer camp, a sign. So do so many people. God first, others second, and self third. You know, the great Gale Sayers, the running back for the Chicago Bears, the All-American from the University of Kansas, wrote a book called I Am Third. And it was a book that he wrote about his friend Brian Piccolo, which was made into about 2 or 3 different movies. A great movie, a great book. And Gail Sayers says, I am third because God is first, others are second, and I'm last, I'm third. Now that doesn't mean we hate ourselves. It doesn't mean we despise ourselves. That's not what Jesus meant when he said that. But we love God first. He is the number one. We look to him first. And his love for us is unbroken. His love for us lasts in eternity. He loves you today with his whole heart. The Lord could not love you any more than he does now. You're precious and unique to him. And because of his love for us, we love him. He's our first love. And because he wants us to do this, we put others second. Jesus sends us into this world as his servants to care for those around us, to put their needs ahead of our own. That doesn't mean we hate ourselves. It means that we love God first and we love those around us and we love ourselves third. That's the divine order for our lives. What is out of order in our world today is that we have inverted that. We have loved ourselves first and we have put others second and we put God somewhere down at the end. That by definition is a life out of order. The good news for us today is that because the Lord loves us, we're able to love him. He gives us that love to return to him. And because we do that, we follow what he's asked us to do, and that is to love and care for others, especially those who are the least of his children. I hope you have a blessed day today, and God willing, I will see you at Mass tomorrow and right back here on Monday. Have a blessed rest of the weekend.